Have you ever thought about what your most essential tool is? A few centuries ago, it might have been a hammer or a plow. Today, for billions of us, it's a computer. From applying for a job, to accessing education, to connecting with loved ones, our entire world is built on a digital foundation. But what if access to that foundation isn't a given? What if it's a privilege? This raises a huge question for the 21st century. Should access to computing power be considered a fundamental human right? This idea is called Universal Basic Compute, or UBC. It's a concept that's gaining serious traction, and it's not as far-fetched as it might sound. Think about it. We've accepted that things like education and healthcare are essential for a person to thrive in modern society. In an age where artificial intelligence is set to redefine everything, isn't access to the computational power that runs it just as vital? Let's break down what UBC could actually look like. At its core, it's the idea that every single person should have a baseline level of access to computing resources. This doesn't necessarily mean everyone gets a free supercomputer. It could be a government-provided cloud computing credit, similar to how some places have energy or water subsidies. It could mean public computing centers like libraries, but supercharged for the AI era. The goal is to ensure that no one is left behind in a world that's becoming increasingly digital. Why is this so important right now? Two letters I at artificial intelligence is no longer science fiction. It's helping doctors diagnose diseases, powering the search engines we use every day, and even creating art. As AI becomes more powerful, the gap between those who can access and utilize it and those who can't will grow into a chasm. This isn't just about convenience. It's about economic opportunity, social participation, and even personal freedom. Imagine a future where the best job opportunities, the most advanced medical treatments, and the most effective learning tools all require a significant amount of computing power. If you can't afford that access, you're effectively locked out of progress. You become a second-class citizen in the digital age. Universal Basic Compute aims to prevent this digital divide from becoming an unbridgeable canyon. It's about creating a level playing field where everyone has the tools to build their own future. Of course, this is a massive undertaking with plenty of challenges. Who pays for it? How do we build the infrastructure? How do we ensure it's used ethically and securely? These are valid and complex questions. The cost would be enormous. We're talking about building and maintaining massive data centers, securing the network, and managing distribution. Some critics argue that the money could be better spent on more immediate needs like food, housing, and clean water. They have a point. We can't ignore basic human needs in the pursuit of digital ones. Then there's the privacy issue. If a government or a single corporation controls the world's computing resources, what does that mean for our personal data and freedom of thought? Centralized power is always a risk. And a system for universal basic compute would need incredibly robust protections and transparent oversight to prevent misuse. We need to design a system that empowers individuals without creating a new form of digital control. And what about the environmental impact? Data centers consume a staggering amount of energy. Powering a global UBC system would require a monumental leap in green energy production. We can't solve the problem of digital inequality by worsening the climate crisis. Any plan for UBC must have sustainability at its very core, relying on renewable energy sources from the ground up. But let's look at the other side of the coin. The potential benefits are just as monumental. Think about the explosion of innovation we could unleash. A student in a remote village could use powerful AI models to conduct research that was previously only possible at a top-tier university. A small business owner could use sophisticated data analysis to compete with multinational corporations. An artist could create entire virtual worlds with tools they could never afford on their own. By democratizing access to compute, we're not just giving people a tool, we're giving them a chance to participate fully in the economy and society of tomorrow. We're unlocking human potential on a scale we've never seen before. It could lead to breakthroughs in science, medicine, and art that we can't even imagine yet. It's an investment in our collective intelligence. So, how could we actually make this happen? It would likely start with small-scale experiments. Governments could launch pilot programs offering compute credits to students or unemployed workers. Philanthropic organizations could fund community compute centers in underserved areas. We could learn from these projects, see what works, and gradually scale up. International cooperation would be absolutely essential. This is a global challenge that requires a global solution. Nations would need to work together to set standards, fund the infrastructure, and create a framework for governance. It's a vision that's as ambitious as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was in its day. When the Internet first emerged, many people dismissed it as a novelty for academics and tech geeks. Today, we can't imagine our world without it. Access to the Internet is now considered by the United Nations to be a human right. Universal basic compute is the next logical step in that evolution. It's not just about getting online, it's about having the power to create, innovate, and thrive in the digital world we're all building together. The question is no longer if our world will be run by computation and AI, but WHO will have access to it. Will it be a resource for the wealthy few, widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots? Or will we decide, as a global community, that this power is so fundamental that it belongs to everyone? This isn't a technical debate for Silicon Valley engineers to solve. It's a conversation for all of us. It's a moral and philosophical question about the kind of future we want to build. A future of digital feudalism or a future of digital democracy. The path we choose will define humanity for generations to come. What do you think? Is universal basic compute an idealistic dream or an essential new human right for the 21st century? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this topic interesting, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into our digital future.